Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Now I'm starting a new basically a playlist or series where I'll be doing short videos like this, and basically I'll be refuting a popular Orientalist contention, and my intention is to cover as many Orientalist contentions as I can in this series. Today is the first video in this series, and these contention will be regarding both Quran and Hadith. I'll focus on both inshallah and refute contentions regarding to both. Now in today's video, I'll be refuting a contention. It's actually a quite funny contention, and it's a really actually pathetic one regarding the ages of Sunni scholars. Right now, one of the main motivations for me to do this series, right, is I want you to see how desperate and pathetic Orientalists are, how much they have to lie, dodge, make false claims, intentionally false claims, arguments they know are pathetic, to try to refute Islam, Quran and Hadith. I want you to see this, which is why inshallah I'll make videos like this, I'll keep making videos like this. Now today's contention is that basically it's about the ages of Sunni scholars in Islamic history, from Iraq specifically, but this can apply to other areas as well, and this is from the first and second Islamic centuries. Now the contention is, right, firstly, who is making this contention? The contention is basically being made by a really major Orientalist scholar, Gautier Jeonbol, right? But saying a really major Orientalist scholar is just like saying the biggest donkey, right? in a group of donkeys. So it's not that I'm respecting him, because these Orientalists don't deserve respect, but this guy is seen as an authority among Orientalists, right? Especially with regards to Ahadith. So I want to expose this guy, and one claim at a time, right? Now the contention is basically this is the contention that a lot of the Iraqi Hadith scholars specifically, right, they have very old ages, like they will live to 70 or 80, many of them, or 90 a few. So what that is improbable, so it's more likely the scholars were lying about their ages to try to get basically have higher status and be earlier in time, so that the ahadith they are narrating are validated. This is the contention. Now again, you can see how desperate this is, but let's go through. Basically this is the reference, right? This is a reference from his book Muslim Tradition. He's basically making the point I said, right, about what his argument is. You can read it if you like. I won't read this, I'll read something else, but it's on the screen, so I'm not hiding it, right? Now this continues the reference. Now there are 5 problems with this contention basically. I'll just mention them one by one, and then I'll go through them and give evidences for it. Firstly, the contention, first response to this is unusual does not mean false or made up. Now think about this point. Unusual things happen all the time, right? Just because something is a bit unusual, that doesn't mean it's automatically false or made up. This is a jump Orientalists make, and you'll actually see this happen quite a lot. A lot of the times, or what you'll see with Orientalists and Kuffar, even this is common to all Kuffar really. What you will see is that they'll make a claim, right? And what they will say is that it is up to the Muslims to refute it. No. Why? The burden of proof is on the person who makes the claim, right? This is something every rational person should agree with. The burden of proof is on the one who makes the claim. Now think about this. If I have to make an argument against liberalism or atheism or Christianity, right, I will have to prove that, right? So if someone makes an argument against Ahadith, they have to prove that as well. This is just common sense. Now here Orientalists want to basically have us assume that because it's unusual, therefore it's false. No, unusual does not equal false, and since this is their argument, they have to prove that there is basically it's false and it's made up, and the scholars are liars. Na'uzu billah. Now this was the first contention, right? Second point. Now, this is the second response to the Orientalist point. Think about this point. Why do so many people die so early in life, right? Especially in medieval times, earlier times. They would have to go to war a lot of the time. That would seriously reduce the average age life expectancy of humans, right? I mean, it's just common sense because young people go to war, a lot of them die, and that would seriously reduce the life expectancy, right? This is not something irrational. I'm saying this makes sense, and this is how it would happen. Now, think about this. These scholars, most of them, don't have to fight in battles, right? They will have to. They are just teaching, right? They have to do some journeys for that, but they are not. There is no warfare here, right? So their life expectancy would be expected to be longer than the average person for a very simple reason. They are not fighting in battles and wars, right? Which would reduce the life expectancy. Third point, a lot of the scholars die at a very young age. I have given a few names here, right, of major Sunni scholars who had short lives. There are scholars with long lives. Certainly, there are many of them, but many have shorter lifespans as well. So this is not some uniform thing like everyone has a long life. So the Orientalists cannot generalize this. Now, the fourth point, and this will actually open your eyes to see how pathetic Orientalists are. The Do you want to know where this Orientalist got the reference about ages of Muslim scholars? He got it from a very specific study, right? And this is by another Orientalist, non-Muslim. This is not some Muslim doing it. Now, funny thing is that study itself refutes this Orientalist. Why? This is what the study says. It's linked here. By the way, the link is from a journal, an academic journal, right? Anyone with a Google email basically can sign up for free, and they can read 100 articles from there a month. So this is free. So anyone wants to check it can check it out. Here's what the author of, and I'll link this in the video description as well. Here is what the author of the study says, right? The original studies. On the basis of 150 biographies in which both birth and death dates are supplied, it can be affirmed that the average lifespan of the individuals in these two works was 78 years. As these are lunar years, however, a correction must be made for solar reckoning, and this correction yields an average lifespan of 75 solar years. Now hear this. And this is in fact what would be expected of a group of men, all of whom survived infancy and childhood, and who did not have to cope with cigarette smoking, air pollution, military service, and nervous tension born of modern life. So, what is the scholar who actually did the study, right? What does he say? There is nothing unusual about this. This is not a problem. What does the desperate Orientalist say? This is a major argument. This is an argument against Hadith. Think about how desperate these Orientalists are, right? I mean, if I am using the same study the Orientalist is using to refute him so strongly, right? How much more pathetic an Orientalist get? I mean, think about this. Now the conclusion. Again, I think you have understood the argument, and you have seen how desperate these clowns are, right? I mean, this was a really weak argument, especially given that study. Now, inshallah, I'll keep making more videos like this, exposing Orientalists on both Quran and Hadith. I'll make videos on Orientalists and Quran as well soon, inshallah. The reason I started with Hadith first is because I have read more on this topic, right? So, if you see in my YouTube channel, you know I'm very comfortable talking about Hadith, especially Hadith preservation, because I work on this a lot. But inshallah, I'll do a lot of work on Quran and Orientalists as well. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.